We are Spectrum Productions, and we're looking to put on Breck's show, Oh What a Lovely War. Today we're missing one of our
members,
so excuse the lack of
some content. We weren't able to get the content due to him being not here and unavailable to send us anything he had.
But we're Spectrum.
Actors.
So I looked at actors, and I looked at 3 acting agencies. To start off with, I looked at Elliott Agency. They have 30 years of experience, which obviously would appeal to us so they've got all their experience in there. They represent all kind of artists, such as models, like film crew, stage actors. I looked at these 4 to start with, just as a rough sort of guide for who they like represent. I picked the 2 boys due to them having quite good, like they're used to the stage, they're used to big audiences where they perform. And the 2 girls have got dance experience, which would be good for the showgirls. They can both sing and musically talented. It's a well-respected company. We did find the issue with it though, however, it is in Brighton, so it would cost a lot of money to get the actors here if we're looking at like a bulk of 30 actors from an agency. Obviously that would cost in expenses like travel, accommodation. We'd need to put them up for the 3 nights and for the rehearsal, which is a con and would cost us more in the long run.
Yes. Are there any sort of price estimates for Elliott's agency?
I'm going to get to the prices in a second. Next we looked at Band Associates. They're a Bristol-based company, and their actors have stage experience. I've looked at these 2 men especially because they do like actors and actresses and models, and they do a wide range of who they represent. However, they also have actors who have done other careers, and you can pick them. These 2 in particular have done a lot of stage work. However, they used to be in the RAF, in the military, which could appeal to this show due to them they know the whereabouts, and they could really help with the context of the play, it being 100 years since the World War. The only thing I found hard about it was they were very hard to contact, and if we used this, it would be we'd hire the men from here. However, we couldn't hire the females. We'd hire the females from Guys and Dolls Casting Agency. It's a very well respected agency with over 60 years of experience. They have a company here, and they're also based in London. They work with the big shows. They've worked with EastEnders, Hollyoaks, Harry Potter. They also do stage shows. I've picked these 3 girls as I believe they'd be very good for the showgirls. They all can sing, dance and act, which I think is very musically capable for the showgirls, which obviously we're going to look.
Yes, James?
On Guys and Dolls website it says that they don't do theatre, they're only there for TV. So how'd you go?
When I rang up, I spoke to one of the people who deals with it, and I think it said that they depend on the actress themselves, and due to these being singers and dancers, I think they would appeal to us just due to the main fact that they do stage work. However, with the prices, I sent out this email to the people, like all the acting agencies. I sent out about 7 different agencies, including Aardvark, Crocodile Company. None of them, however, have currently got back to me. I need to bring up and find out the prices due to if we did definitely put on the show. However, I believe that it will all come in time, and it's something we need to do. If you look at, just for the actors themselves, if you look at Equity. If you look at Equity, it's an actors union, which is like the rights of actors. So the quote is, if young people don't join them, the union fades in 20 years. This generation will be looking back and saying, in the good old days, the union, they had deputies and they had rights. By that, it basically means as an actor, you get legal rights. So if you look at a teacher, for example, you get the job and you get what they do, like day on, day out. They have rules, they have regulations. The teachers also have rights, so pay, and this is same for an actor. You sign a contract, they sign a contract. It's quite
It's for the safety of both the actor and producer.
The only issue with this is you have to pay a subscription fee and you have to pay to join, which obviously for an actor, if you're a freelance and you don't get much work, the subscription fee could.
You also have to have visual evidence of you having performed before, and all the sort of legal things that were involved like that, such as a contract from both sides.
Next, we're going to look at hair and makeup. I looked at a makeup artist, a hair stylist, and a makeup and hair stylist for theatre work. First of all, you've got Kate Griffins, who has got theatre experience. She'd run a workshop for us. So the makeup artist would run the workshop for the performers, and like how to do their own hair and makeup. So it would cost us £350 for the workshop. We'd have to pay for her to get here, because she lives in Kent. So the price for her to come to Bristol would be an issue. We'd probably pay for her to get the train, just due to it only being one session. She'd run the workshop, which would be good because it'd be a cheaper way of doing it rather than hiring someone for all 3 nights. And the tech, if we did want her here for the tech and the first night, it would cost us more money, which is an issue just due to the fact that they could do it themselves. Next, I looked at Tony and Guy for hairstylists. It's a very well-known hairstylist, and they have many salons based in Bristol. I looked at 2 different options. There's you can hire a hairstylist for £69 for a 3-hour time slot, which would be good for the show, but due to the size of the cast, I did email about finding out about a workshop that they could run with maybe the chorus and the parts that aren't so big. They said they charge £150 for an hour's workshop just to show the rest of the cast the basic hairstyles they could do for themselves in the cast for the show. It works out, if we want the hairstylist for 3 nights, for the 3 nights and the workshop, it works out at £357. However, this doesn't include makeup, which is obviously an issue because we'd have to pay more, and if we went with the Kate Griffins, it obviously would add up to around £700, which is a lot of money. So instead, I came up with Antonia, who does workshops for theatre. However, she does it in like group bookings, so we'd have to have like 30 people, which would be fine because of the size of the cast we're looking at. She does 2 packages. She does the standard package and she does the deluxe package. They vary between there's £150 between them. So if we look at the standard package just to start with, it comes with 1 makeup artist, which obviously if there's 30 people in a room and you're trying to do their makeup, trying to teach them something, it could be quite difficult to get the message across, especially if you've got loads of different types of makeup you need doing. She'd be here for 6 hours, which is, however, we would need to pay for her materials and the model. But that's £250. She'd bring the wigs with her, so she'd show us how to do the hair as well. The deluxe package, which is £395, it just seems like the bit of a better option. You get 2 makeup artists, or you can have a makeup artist and a model. I think we'd go for the 2 makeup artists. They bring makeup and wigs for demonstration. They provide costume and props. The thing with this is that it does cover both ranges. The only problem with it being is that obviously they don't provide someone on the night. So say you did on your first night have like a rush of people like not knowing what they were doing, it would backfire a little bit in terms of where do you turn now, who does the makeup. But I think it'd be a good opportunity, especially if you worked in like a youth environment, like say you did go to a school, you could look at the A-level textiles group, the artists, look at them to do the makeup, get them trained as well. It could work out both ways, help them out and help us out for a cheap price.
Technicians. This first one is PF Events. They are a company that is based in the UK and offer different operators and engineers. The reason I'm showing you this is they offer quite a local crew in for 4 hours and for 8 hours to show the different ranges they can offer. If I was to go with this company, which I personally wouldn't, I would go for the 150 hours because it's £10 less. But the major disadvantage of this company is they don't tell you where they're based mainly, and their prices are quite expensive. So I would decide to go with this gav.co.uk. They have Mondays to Fridays expenses for technicians and cameramen, which we would need. The AV would be a very useful asset for the 3 hours that we'd have them. Each day is a good price, and we could get a day package if needed. The cameramen we would use to film it to see what profit we could make off selling video and other such things. The rights, I got this email back for about £160. There's not much I can say about that. So, the set, I found sandbags. You can buy in bulk of this company. You also have the dimensions of the sandbag. So you can, once you have the set, you can easily measure how many you're going to need and then buy the exact number. The reason I went for sandbags is it gives off World War I theme of the trenches, because a lot of the trenches, yes?
The reason you went for sandbags over what?
Well, just sort of a mud wall, sort of. I don't really have anything on here but most likely blocks that we would use or other things. Sandbags would give off a better feel.
I think that in the World War they did use sandbags, so obviously it gives the realistic effect of the history of it as well.
I also went with this entranceway. It gives off the same feel being made out of sandbags, and with the venue that we are going with, which is John Cabot, we could put them in the entranceway and people would automatically notice them.
How much extra would that cost though?
I can't find a price, which is one of the major drawbacks of this company. So I would have to email them or phone them up. I also had a look at poppies to have to go down the wall. This one you can buy in bulk, but this company is based in America, so it would be hard to get a definite price to also be sent over and other things. So, yes? This is Amazon, which is free shipping, and it's also based in the UK, so it'd be much more convenient to get the products in, but there is a drawback with it being 5 poppies, that if you wanted to place them individually at a certain poppy, that's one of the major drawbacks. But I would decide to go with these, but you'd have to damage them by cutting them up. So I also had a look at this company, which you can buy in bulk, but they don't look very realistic. So I eventually came to the conclusion of the Amazon poppies. That's it.